is that we want to bring you an update on a breaking story coming out of White City in Soweto, where police are responding to a situation there that involves foreign nationals and some kind of violence that is said to be taking place there. Let's go live to ENCA's Lindoguhle Xulu, who is live on the scene for us with that update. Lindoguhle, can you confirm at this particular point that we've had one fatality? And what exactly is the situation there? We see movement behind you there.
Well, Chulas, we can confirm to you that there has been one fatality. This is because of a standoff between foreign shop owners and the locals. We don't know what actually, prompted this act from the shop owners, but we understand from social media as well, saying that some people in the community were trying to loot some of these shops. And with the situation right now, it's a bit volatile in neighboring communities. We understand that the same thing is happening, but the foreign shop owners are now vacating some of these shops that they own because they were told that they need to leave. Of course, this is fueled by what we've been seeing on social media recently of foreign shop owners manufacturing some of their products, and it's quite tense here. I don't know if my colleague, Mr. Mashuru, can just allow to come closer and just see the situation, but they are vacating their shop here, and they have this big truck that they're loading some of their products. And also, we see a lot of vans in the area, police monitoring the situation, of course, but right now as I speak to you, I'm a bit shaken also because the residents in the area, the locals, were trying to come and loot as this truck is being loaded, and there was a gunfire shot on the air. I'm not sure where that came from, but it seems that it came from the shop owners, the foreign shop owners, and that's in full view of the police that are here. But what is happening now, we understand that in most parts of the area, the shops are being vacated. And if you can just try and speak, but it seems they don't want to speak, but if you can just try and speak to anyone to understand exactly what the threat they have received has been. If you can just move closer, Mr. Mashuru, we can just try to see if there's anyone who will try to speak to us, Chulas. But the situation is this, that they are vacating the area. Brother, if you can just tell me what is happening, what has happened? Who should I talk to? Okay, it seems that a lot of them don't want to speak. They're just busy unpacking some of the things in the shop and taking them into the truck. But that's the situation right here, Tulas. They are in a hurry and trying to take the stuff that they have in these shops and put it in the trucks and vacate the area as soon as they can.
I mean, the panic on some of those faces is quite visible even from where we are sitting, just looking at those visuals of those men loading that truck. But at this particular point, key facts for us to sort of confirm. The rest, I mean, we will try and piece together the picture. At this particular point, you can confirm that one person is dead, and this is something we can confirm from speaking to police.
Yes, Tulas, let me just confirm that I spoke to Colonel Dlamini of the South African Police Services here in Gauteng, and he basically told me that indeed there is a fatality, and that's because of a standoff between locals and the shop or foreign shop owners.
Right.
We understand there's been a lot of videos we've seen on social media, and we understand that a lot of people are speculating that that might be the reason why we're seeing these actions now.
And of course, Lindoguhle, part of the reason we are paying so much attention to that, one is the fatality, which of course is a big development, but also there's a context to which incidents like these happen, in particular involving foreign nationals who own shops in some of South Africa's townships. It's not the first time that we have seen a kind of situation of violence involving locals in some of these townships and foreign nationals.
Well, Tulas, in fact, I can confirm to you that a similar situation had actually taken place. I stand to be corrected, but it was around 2014, 2013. And we saw a lot of looting from foreign shop owners, especially in Soweto, which started in a small community of Snake Park in Doronkop, right in this vicinity. But what had happened also then was that there was looting, and then there was retaliation from the foreign shop owners, which we we then saw the death of a child in that community in Doornkop. So this is a similar situation. We understand that the person who was shot today is understood to have been one of the people allegedly trying to loot these shops. But there has been a similar situation, and they did vacate these areas, as you can see today. And what had happened then was that after a certain period of time, there was condemning of the xenophobic attacks in this area around Soweto particularly, and they eventually came back to the area and were able to trade again or operate their businesses. But today we understand that a similar situation is arising, and we're just trying to get to the bottom of what exactly sparked these attacks and loots of the foreign nationals.
Absolutely, Lindoguhle. And just also in terms of the timeline, of course, those incidents that you referred to, particularly in Soweto, were around January 2015, and I was part of the ENCA team that was actually stationed in and around Soweto at that particular time when there were tensions between locals and foreign nationals who own shops in a number of townships in Soweto at that particular point, and in fact even in areas such as Langlaagte. In terms of what's happening now on the ground, Lindoguhle, we are seeing these shop owners loading that truck. Presumably they want to make their way out of the area following that incident that has now taken place. Are you able to tell me about what is happening in as far as the community is concerned? Do we have any kind of mobilization of a group of people? How far are they from what is happening where you are, from where the shop owners are, and also where are the police at this particular point?
Well, Tulas, what I can tell you is that before you came to us, before you took this live, there were community members who were trying to loot this truck as they were loading it, and they were throwing stones, and you see retaliation even from the foreign shop owners. We see a high presence of foreign shop owners, even in vans stationed just around the area, monitoring the situation and making sure that none of their products or none of their goods are taken from this area. But there is but one police vehicle that is in the area, in this particular area. And if Mr. Mashudu, my colleague, can just show you, those are the police. They are standing by just behind the taxi you will see now, but they're standing by monitoring the situation as well and trying to keep calm. But as far as the safety of these foreign nationals, I think it's guaranteed by the fact that there is a high number of them, because there are 2 policemen and there is a large number of the community standing by. If you can just allow me to move and show you, let's go that side. In fact, if you can just allow me to move and show you the community that is standing by and looking for an opportunity to try and get some of these goods. There is actually a large number of them in this corner, as you can see, Tulas. Those are the people that are standing by, and we saw attempts of looting from that group. There were stones thrown from that direction, and we heard what sounded like a gunshot, and then they dispersed away from this area. So that's the situation at the moment. A few police monitoring the situation, but a high number of foreign nationals who, the foreign shop owners who actually, have parked their cars and have sort of formed a protection circle to ensure that there is a smooth operation in terms of loading their goods into these vehicles.
Yeah, Lindoguhle, we will leave you for a moment, but just to run through again and recap what has happened, sticking only perhaps to what we can confirm at this particular point.
I'm sorry, Tulas, I didn't get.
I'm saying at this particular point,
noise, and you can understand the situation, sir.
Absolutely. If you can just then recap what we know for a fact at this particular point.
Well, what we know and we have confirmed with the South African Police Services is that there is a person that was shot, and it is alleged that that was one of the people who were trying to loot one of these shops in White City. We understand that foreign nationals are now vacating their shops around the area, and of course we understand that there's also allegations of people that are also doing the same in neighboring communities, because we understand that this is an activity that flares up every time one shop is looted, and every time, like we saw in 2015, as you had said earlier. But we understand that other areas people are vacating as well in a similar fashion as this one.
All right, thank you so much, Lindokuhle. We'll leave you to track that story and sort of try and get a bit more detail. And do stay safe. It does look like a pretty volatile situation there. ENCA's Lindokuhle Xulu tracking that story, that breaking story that we are tracking there for you, which has to do with the death of one person in an incident of violence in White City in Soweto that involves foreign nationals. As you can see, the foreign nationals who own shops in that particular area, in those live visuals that Lindokuhle and Mashudu were bringing us, now packing their goods from their shops onto a truck, presumably to try and make their way out of that particular area at this particular point, with a police presence, which from what Lindokuhle could show us is not that sizable, just one police van that is there. And he tells us that there's a large presence of foreign nationals who have also come sort of to be in solidarity with the people who are there facing that situation. So a situation that we continue to track and will continue to bring you details of as and when they come in here on ENCA Now.